Today, the Xfinity Series qualifying will be on CNBC at 11:30 Eastern. And Sprint Cup Series final practice on NBCSN at 1:30. Breeders' Cup at 2:30 on NBCSN. And the Xfinity Series Racing right here at Texas Motor Speedway on NBC at 3:30 Eastern. Mike.
Well, Rick, Denny Hamlin out of the race car once again after making a couple of runs here. We heard earlier in this practice him talking about the car being, quote, wrecking loose. Well, it hasn't gotten all that much better. You can sense the frustration in his voice as he radioed in just before coming back into the garage this last run, again, saying he's extremely loose. About the 2/3 mark through the corner, that's where he loses all rear grip. He's had a pretty long debrief with his crew chief, Mike Wheeler, and now the car up on scales as they're making fairly significant changes to the race car right now in terms of setup, trying to give more stability to Hamlin. Obviously, he wants to have a little bit better balance and a little bit more control on a track that is this fast, Marty.
Like Denny Hamlin, there are a lot of chasers, 22nd or worse. 5 of them, in fact, are 22nd or worse on the speed chart here in this first practice at Texas, including Kurt Busch. Here's what he had to say on the radio.
Based off what we know with this tires, it always gets tight in race conditions on exits. So to me, the focus seems to be more about the entry and the early part back to gas before it's a little remote for sure.
Tony Gibson asked him, he says, the car any better than yesterday? He said, you know, honestly, not really. He said, the track just feels slower and it feels like we're not getting the rubber down like we did yesterday, and we can't seem to get a hold of the track like we did yesterday. So a lot of chasers kind of down here scratching their heads, guys, and see, you know, the pressure that's involved in the chase. So you want to make sure the car is right, though, for Sunday afternoon.
Well, they do. They want to make sure it's right, but you can't fast forward to Sunday. You have to be methodical, go through your process, go through the practice, and work on the different components that Tony Gibson and Kurt Busch expect to work on. You hear already he was referencing their notes from past races on this tire. They think they have a direction on which way this tire will go in the race. We'll have to wait for tomorrow afternoon to see if they're accurate.
But yeah, what an interesting end of the year. You think about the races, the way the races line out, and you go to a super speedway, 2.5 mile, then you go to the half-mile Bristol, half-mile Martinsville, and then you come here. Rough, slick. Nobody's car is going to drive good. The question is, who's going to drive the best? No one's going to drive the way they really want it to. It's a competition with the competition. I promise you that the guy in 18th is going to be saying the same thing as the guy in 5th. I'm loose on entry, I'm tight in the middle, and I'm loose on exit. That's Texas. You have no grip. It's rough. It's very, very difficult, and no driver is going to be happy. It's just the way this racetrack is.
Kyle Busch, again, in a backup car, currently 28th on the speed chart, had this to say on the radio.
Anytime I hit that top of 3 and 4, the least little bit wrong, it's just jacked. As soon as I have the rear grip that I need, entry's good, into the center is good. When I have to give it wheels to continue to wrap around the center and turn, get pointed one more time for the exit, it spins pretty easy, and then it spits out the rest of the exit laterally.
That's a really good description of what Kyle Busch's car is doing, but something struck me as we listened to that, Jeff, and we've had this conversation up here. Maybe we're just sensitive to it, but it seems that the Joe Gibbs camp, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, as we eavesdrop in on their radio, having a lot of conversation about these bumps. While they are a key point of the setup, you just have to wonder what they have as a company. Fundamentally, the foundation of their setups is there's something there that just doesn't want to get over the bumps comfortably, or as the drivers need them to make good lap time.
Yeah, it is a key component here, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, the bumps are in the worst places they can possibly be. Entry into turn 1, right in the middle, max loading. The car is loaded to its max in the middle of the corner. That bump's in a terrible place in the middle of 1 and 2. The middle of 3 and 4, there's another large bump. They're all at really, really difficult places. And then on the exit of 4, on the very bottom, it's like waves. You know, it's not big bumps, it's just these waves that you go through. So it is important to have car control here.
Going to get a backup car for Kyle Busch after getting into the wall in practice yesterday. Best 10-lap average, Carl Edwards at the top of the list. Jimmy Johnson